Hi, my name is Hugh Lundberg, and I'm an honorably discharged, decorated, disabled veteran. My father served 30 years in the United States Navy. He was a veteran of 3 wars. I buried him when I was 14 years old. Growing up around the military culture, I, at a very early age, began to understand the humanity in people, especially those who had followed their conscience to fight a war. In past, with World War II, I disagree with many of the peace activists of a time gone by, like Mahatma Gandhi. That's a war that had to be fought. There have been opportunities in past for the United States to get on the right side of some very good fights. But we choose instead to get involved in things that are about money, oil, and the acquisition of power. Not to mention other things like the subjugation of ideologies and the people that follow them. You know, going to war is a matter of conscience for these young men and women of the nation, and it should be respected. It does bother me when I see people in uniform abused because they have taken a stand. Just as these macho idiots like Bill O'Reilly and Dick Cheney and George W. Bush, who we know did a little war dodging in their day, the latter two anyway. I don't know about Bill O'Reilly, but you know, these conservatives, these hawks, make it seem as though if people don't fight, they're somehow unpatriotic. This country was founded on, among other things, you know, a freedom of choice, freedom of expression. You know, as Americans, it's our patriotic duty to tell people how we think. A lot of people on the left fell short of this at the beginning of the war because they didn't want to seem unpatriotic. The administration, whether it meant harm or not, has harmed the reputation of America with the rest of the world. It did not get a coalition to support us. It wasn't just the French and the Germans. And isn't it amazing? France, a country that helped us gain our freedom, then gaining theirs from the tyranny of monarchs over the centuries through the French Revolution. Isn't it amazing that we decide to turn on them because they disagree with us? They disagreed about the weapons of mass destruction, and it turned out they were right. So what do? Take it back, all the horrible things that we said about them? Are our freedom fries now going to go French again? You know, you have to look at the whole picture in this. I don't support this war. I don't like what it's about. I'm not crazy about us going into Afghanistan, but I am willing to give the president time to, you know, to work out some kind of acceptable foreign policy. And when I say acceptable, I mean acceptable to all. There is a reason that people in the world consider us to be the great Satan. We trained most of the right-wing governments around the world how to torture their own people. If someone did that to us, wouldn't the person that taught our police how to torture our own people, wouldn't they be villains too? Wouldn't they be a great Satan? It infuriates me to look at the situation in the world as it is. By the same token of supporting those who follow their conscience and will into uniform, I absolutely support my brothers and sisters in the peace movement. You know, we have got to stand on our feet. We really do. And I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees in a country that has resorted to torture and tyranny in the world. This is so un-American. It is so unworthy of those who have fought and died for this country over the years. And I am in a position where I can comment on this. So with all due respect to those who would brand me as unpatriotic because I think a certain way, you thought police need to go back to your little fascist Hitler Youth School and learn something. America is about freedom. It is about freedom with responsibility. It is about liberty. It is about the Bill of Rights. And it is about time both sides of all issues began to pay attention to the other, because the world has gotten into a very bad space, as has the government of the United States. It is the hope of many of us that with the new administration and the new government in power, that we will right some of the wrongs done under the last administration, because like it or not, the George W. Bushes and Dick Cheneys of this world did represent us as our elected government. Whether you buy that it was a legitimate election or not is another thing. So I ask people to be more thoughtful, to not indulge in so much finger pointing, but to find real solutions to problems that are going to follow us for some time because of the way that we behave. But first and foremost, I do support the individuals who have chosen to wear the uniform of the United States of America. I did it myself. By that same standard, I will not tolerate people criticizing me because as a matter of conscience, I have decided that I cannot support the United States in a war that is based on greed, the acquisition of wealth, and the subjugation of others, using such things as torture and oppression. My name is Just Lundberg. I am an honorably discharged, decorated, disabled veteran, United States Navy, 1980 to 1984. I buried my father when I was 14. Thank you for listening. And God bless America, and Goddess bless all of her people. Thank you.